Mortal Kombat needed to take the next big step after UMK3. Naturally, with the N64 and PS1 pushing 3D gaming, it made sense that Mortal Kombat would follow suit, and in 1997, we got Mortal Kombat 4. However, we'll be looking at Mortal Kombat Gold on the Dreamcast. I feel this is the best home console port of the game, but the Nintendo 64 and PlayStation versions aren't bad by any means. Mortal Kombat Gold is a decent looking fighter. It has many returning stages such as Goro's Lair, the Living Forest, and the Soul Chamber, and they all look okay. They lose a lot of their charm in the transition to 3D, but for the first attempt, it's not that bad. The new stages, however, are kind of boring. You know what else is boring? The new characters. They aren't memorable in the slightest, and I really want to like them, but they come off as uninspired and generic. The returning characters look okay, but some of them look downright hideous. I'm looking at you, Reptile and Baraka. There are 24 characters to play as in MK Gold, if you include the secret characters, and it's hit or miss design wise. The soundtrack isn't bad, offering a couple of classic tracks and providing some atmospheric new ones. Presentation wise, this is the best part. Fatalities are also very hit or miss. They look really goofy at times, and there are many instances where they took an old fatality and made it a 3D mess. A lot of this had to do with the character animation. Characters look really dumb, to be honest, and it's the ugliest of the original numbered series. Now, not all is bad. The game feels pretty smooth and it's really easy to pick up. You would do well if you've never played any of the 2D Mortal Kombat games. MK4 takes the control scheme and style of Mortal Kombat 3 and puts it in a 3D environment. Normals are pretty different in certain cases, like crouching high kick being able to launch characters in the air similar to a pop-up combo from Mortal Kombat 3. Speaking of combos, character-specific chain combos are now gone. Now they are universal chain combos that work pretty much the same for everyone except for a few minor differences. This is both a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is that it's easier for newer players to get into, but the bad thing is that it loses some of its depth. It also doesn't help that the game isn't really polished, as there are many oddities like switching sides randomly and extremely weird hitboxes. This really isn't a tournament worthy game, but it is a lot more casual friendly, which isn't a bad thing. On the surface, this game looks like a 3D Mortal Kombat 3, even sharing some of its UI elements. And it's not too far off to think that, but there are a few interesting new additions in the form of weapons. Characters can now summon a personal weapon in combat, and it makes things a little bit more interesting. You can also pick up environmental items such as rocks and throw them at your opponent, similar to Interactable's in NetherRealm's future game Injustice Gods Among Us. Another difference in the gameplay from UMK3 is the maximum damage breaker. When you do over 40% damage in a combo, you will automatically be knocked back. The way this is triggered is pretty weird though. If you were to do two 20% combos in a short window of time, the breaker will still activate even if they are technically not doing a single 40% combo. Sometimes the game will register those two combos as one, even if you can clearly get out of it or block. The camera can be really weird sometimes, but it doesn't really get in the way for the most part. For core gameplay, that's pretty much it. Mortal Kombat Gold has a good set of modes such as Survival, Tournament, Team Battle, Versus, Practice, and Arcade mode. Most are self-explanatory and they are all pretty good additions to the game. Arcade mode is a little different from past games. You now have a limited amount of credits and you can choose the difficulty in the options. Goro's back as the mini-boss and he really isn't all that difficult. Probably the most disappointing thing is the absence of a menacing non-playable boss. At the end you fight Shinnok in a pretty anticlimactic battle, but you get to see beautiful gems like this.
Somewhere, Jarek?
Jax! I thought you were going to...
Thought I was what? Dead? Like my partner you just tossed off the cliff?
I'm sorry, Jax. Please, don't drop me. Wait, I promise.
Too late, Jarek.
You can't drop me. You have to uphold the law. You have to arrest me. Wait, this is brutality. You can't do it.
Wrong, Jarek. This is not a brutality. This is a fatality.
I really wish the final boss was a little harder, similar to Mortal Kombat 2, which I feel has the best balance of difficulty. Other than that, Mortal Kombat 4, or in this case Gold, tries some new things and some just happen to fall flat. Many of the ideas implemented in this game, like personal weapons and breakers, went on to be included in future Mortal Kombat games. I personally feel that this game is like a 3D Mortal Kombat 1. A game with interesting ideas and concepts, but with slightly lackluster execution. Mortal Kombat 4 is a lower mid-tier fighting game that had potential but failed to realize it. It's still fun though, but more on the guilty pleasure side of the spectrum. Thank you for watching my review on Mortal Kombat 4/Gold, and that concludes my series of bread and butter reviews on the numbered Mortal Kombat games. Mortal Kombat X is about to release, and I'll try to get a review up as soon as possible. Also, someone asked me what my top 10 favorite Mortal Kombat characters were, and we may just find out. But for now, leave any feedback down below, mash the like and sub buttons, and stay godlike, fighting game fans.